What is
What's up,
happening,
everybody?
people?
Welcome to S Dogs MMA. I just wanted to take it over now that I got a mic. Everyone can hear me clearly now. I don't sound like I'm way in the background. So I just want to give myself a shout out for that. Thanks to MMA Anomaly for giving me that link to get that microphone. And take it away, Sterling. My bad.
No worries. No worries at all. I didn't know you were going to do that, but we can definitely start making that a fucking signature of the show. Happy to have you here, brother. You do sound crystal clear. That boy has an MMA Anomaly mic. We are legit as it gets. Shout out MMA Anomaly as well for the little characters on the side, folks. If you're looking at the side and you're like, what the fuck are those? Those are your boys over here, baby. They're lined up perfectly. MMA Anomaly is dropping that Fuego today. And the man who has not talked, the shaded one, crossover. How are we doing, brother, on this 2025?
Brother, I'm great, man. It's a new week. We got fights coming up, man. What's not to like? Let's go.
Woo, boys. Before we get into this, how rough has these last 3 weeks been?
Time without fights, man. I mean, it's always tough, but we made it through. We made it through the dark times, as we call them, that 2 to 3 week drought that we face every end of year in mixed martial arts. And I can undoubtedly say, I am so fucking excited right now, guys. So excited.
Woo! And the Texans are in the playoffs. What a year, folks. Fights are back. Texans are in the playoffs. The boys are here for the live. We just dropped an absolute banger, folks. I mean, literally 5 minutes ago, just dropped an interview with Power Slap heavyweight champion Damian the Bell DeBell. I appreciate you so much, brother. And also another Power Slap guy that I had in here. Shout out Lethal Luke Simons, baby. Woo! Appreciate you being in the chat, brother. It's Simon, like the diamond, young Dustin Poirier, just like it, brother. I'm so happy to have you boys in here. I'm ready to get it going. I'm about to pass out from excitement. Crossover. Do you want to add anything, brother, before we get this fucking banger show started today?
Bro, let's get to it, man. Let's not waste any more time.
This is why I got these boys on here today, folks. We appreciate all of you in the chat right now. There's already 74 of you on. Big appreciate that. Everyone on YouTube, you know the drill by our Twitter. You know the drill by now. Come on over to the tube. Get your boys in here. S-Dogs MMA Talk. Shout out MMA Anomaly. Shout out Crossover MMA. Let's get this shit going, boys. Y'all see these fights up here now?
Yes, sir.
We got you, brother.
All right. Let's fucking do this. Crossover. I'm going to start with you, brother. Get us back into the swing of things, baby boy. We got Joe Selecki versus, let me go ahead and butcher this, Nerullo Alavov. Ladies and gentlemen. That's about the same thing there, boys and girls. Crossover. Give me your thoughts, brother.
So first off, Joe Selecki's coming in on short notice. Like the fight just got announced like yesterday, I think. So he's coming in on short notice. We got the classic wrestler versus BJJ guy. So obviously we're gonna see which martial art trumps. But for me in this fight, man, I'm going with Nerullo. I mean, he's undefeated. Hot little prospect out of Tajikistan. And, you know, those guys been grappling since they were coming out of the womb, man. So I'm going, that's the route I'm going.
Bro, I did not know this fight just got put together like that. Shout out Joe Selecki for taking this, because anybody with a name like that is going to be a hard-ass fight, bro. Anomaly, give me them picks, son.
Man, I'm going to ride the coattails of my boy Crossover over here. Look, I think Nerullo Aliyev is an absolute beast. And just like Crossover said, those guys from Tajikistan, they really do know how to roll. They really do know how to grapple. And much like those fellas over from Dagestan, from the mountains of Dagestan, Russia, they're very freaking strong, brother. They're very strong. So I like Joe Selecki. I've bet on him numerous times. Won some money on him, lost some money on him. This is not going to be one of those times where I bet on him and lose money on him, folks. But I'm also not going to bet on Nerullo Aliyev at minus 425. You got to give me something juicier than that, brother. I mean, Joe does have chances to win this fight. Like, it's not going to be one-way traffic. Make no mistake about it. But, yeah, gun to my head, I'm sticking with Crossover on this one.
Ooh,
got Eric.
Wait, we might have a sweep before I get to Eric. Shout out everyone in the chat. Shout out Darren. Shout out Tycho Tech. Shout out MMA Maestro and Amari Smith. We got Big Dog streaming MMA today. But Eric, give me that pick, son.
Yeah, so when I was taking my notes yesterday, I had the original fight going, but still picking it the same way. Nerullo um, got 2 wins by KO, but I'm assuming that's probably a ground and pound type of TKO. I don't see this probably being an exciting fight. Gonna end up on the cage, end up on the ground. He's gonna dominate, I feel like, and yeah, if I was putting my money down now, I'm not sure what odds MMA had. MMA has, but I'm seeing minus 520 on the
Oof.
UFC page.
Oh
So
no, don't look at UFC.com.
okay,
UFC.com's odds are always off.
all right,
What,
cool.
what
And
else you got?
I can't pull it up on my best site for some reason. They don't have it up yet. So
No worries. For DraftKings Sportsbooks, right now it's plus 330 for Joe Selecki money line and minus 425 for Nerullo Aliev.
yeah, so that's one of those bets you kind of stay away from, especially if you're looking for a value
Yep.
bet.
Let's go,
It's
dude.
just not there. So yep, I agree with the two guys so far.
Boys, we're going to go ahead and start this off with a full sweep. We are all rocking with Joe Selecki to get this pulled off. That man's been in the UFC for a minute now, and he's a motherfucker to deal with. Shout out Duke in the chat, baby. We're glad to have you in here, brother. We can't wait for this one either, man. As y'all can already tell, we have been fiending for some fights. Before I get this next one pulled up, I'm going to be real with y'all. I might have Olin go ahead and take this from me with the pronunciations. So, Olin,
Fatima
give us
Klein,
who you got
Victoria
on this next
Dakua.
fight, brother.
Yeah, we got Fatima Klein coming in the women's strawweight division against Victoria Dudakova. This is a fun fight. It's not one that I think I'll really be betting on, if I'm being honest with you, especially considering I don't even see odds for this one on DraftKings Sportsbooks right now, which is kind of odd. But it's fairly close, right? 6-1 for Fatima and 8-1 for Victoria. Both women are fairly young at 24 and 25 years of age. 5'5" versus 5'4", 67 inches of reach versus 67 inches of reach. I mean, fuck, if Mike Goldberg were still commentating in the UFC, I know this would be one where at the opening he'd say, everything else is virtually identical. So, I mean, this is going to be a close fight, folks. I think it's as close to a pick'em as we have on this card. But I got a feeling Victoria Dudakova pulls it off. I think she's going to be just a step ahead of her opponent anywhere the fight goes. And I don't think the 1-inch height disadvantage is going to really prove to be anything fatal for her in there, considering they do have the same exact reach and they present pretty similar levels of skill sets, even though they might have slightly different approaches in the way that they approach the fight game.
That's a great way to look at it, brother. I'm not going to lie to you, especially for two females that not a lot of people probably know unless you're a hardcore fan. Let's switch it up this time. Eric, who we got going into this one, baby boy?
Yeah, so on ESPN, the fight odds are Klein at minus 850. Due to Dakova at plus 500. So I did go back and I looked at some film on Klein, and she is a motherfucker to deal with.
Dude,
she's got nice hands. She's good standing. She's even better on the ground. But if I was to pick an underdog of the card, this is my underdog pick. I'm taking Dudakova.
Oh,
saying that right.
Hey, and I'm not gonna lie to you. I like that pronunciation more than I like that pick. Crossover. Bring it home, baby boy.
So for me on this, Fatima Klein, man, her UFC debut, she got, a fighter, one of the favorite fighters on the show, Jasmine Jazz the Vicious, in her UFC debut, which was a tough draw. So we can't really hold that against her. But then when you see the odds of minus 800, minus 850, and we don't really know what's going on in this fight, so definitely don't touch this fight at all. Just enjoy it for whatever, however it happens, wherever it goes. But I'm going with Fatima Klein.
My bad, boys. I did not mean to have that pulled up. Jumped a little ahead of the gun. I'm going with you, Crossover. Klein's a dog. Like Eric said, if you've seen her fights before, bro, nasty on the feet, and honestly, more of a wrestler than a striker. So more than likely, this fight's going to go to the ground, boys. And I'm excited for it, man. To move on to a little bit something a little bit more interesting, boys and girls, a little bit more action, I'm gonna have Olin hit them names as well for this one because it's gonna be a butcher fest if not. Olin, what we got right here, brother? It's gonna be bad.
Oh
if I do this, folks, it's gonna be bad.
So we have Magomed Gaziashulov coming in against Bruno Lopez. And whoever wants to take the lead on breaking it down. I'm just here to say the names right, guys.
I'll go ahead. Let's start with crossover this time. Crossover ended it. Crossover. Magomed, Bruno Lopez. Who we got here, brother?
So I'm gonna be honest, man. I think this fight is very competitive. Watch some tape on Magomed. Very well rounded, solid, can handle his business on the feet, uses his grappling a lot. The guy lands like over 5 takedowns per 15 minutes. So it looks like he kind of just lets guys get comfortable on the feet, and then once he thinks that's where they think the fight's gonna stay, he just shoots that takedown, gets them on the ground, and then just starts mixing in the ground and pound and the control. So I'm going with Magomed, but I'm just letting you guys know Lopez is a very live dog in this fight. Guys got like 6 KOs, 5 submissions, very dangerous.
Eric, who we got going into this, brother?
Yeah. So what I wrote down in my notes is seeing it going down to the ground. Lopez's strength will be the one thing to keep him in the fight, but I think cardio will be an issue for him. So I am going Magomed. And I'm gonna exit real quick, guys. I think I'm here.
I was just about to message you. I was just about to message you, bro. My bad. Yeah,
I'll be back.
All right, dog. Olin. 3-person panel now, brother. Who we got?
Man. This is I completely agree with crossover on this one again. I think that there is definitely paths to victory for Lopez. He is a live dog, but not a lot of people showing him a whole lot of love, including Vegas, man. If you look at Tapology, I love that they do the Tapology voting polls and you can actually see the results, right? So live results currently for this one on Tapology community picks, out of 1,576 people that have voted, 13% of them are going with Lopez. The other 87% are going with Gaziashulov. So, I mean, it's hard to go against the guy because he is an absolute mauler and he is really fucking strong.
Yeah.
But again, you know me. I do love dogs. But plus 185, not quite juicy enough for me to bet on that. So yeah, if I were to bet on this, I would probably take like to win by decision once those odds come out, which they're not quite out yet on DraftKings. We just have fight lines at the moment. But minus 225 is not terrible odds for this young man. And if you get plus odds like plus 180, plus 250 for him to win it by decision, I might have to sprinkle on that a little bit, if I'm being honest.
Brother, I'm not gonna lie to you.
Oh, and I got something for you real quick. You might want to look at Lopez by finish as like a little hedge. You might want to check it out, see what it is.
I'm not mad at that.
I don't know what it is, but I think if Lopez were to win the fight, it would be inside the distance.
I agree with that 1,000%. Because he's a strong slugger of a fucking human being, man. 6 wins by knockout. Like, dude's got power. And if you look at his last 2 fights, I mean, like, he's a finisher in general. So I might do the just to win inside the distance versus by knockout because he could also get the submission, man.
And correct me if I'm wrong. This is Bruno's debut, right?
Yep.
For the UFC,
this guy, I think he fought on a Contender Series probably about like 4, 5, 6 months ago, something like that.
That's why I recognized
back in August.
That's why I recognized him crossover. I was like, I've seen this dude before, man, just not in the UFC.
Yeah, he fought on Contender Series August 13th of 2024 and got the win in the second round via punches to the body over Michael Sazignani.
I hate real quick, bro. I hate to interrupt you, boys. Crossover. Stay with that point, but we just had a 5th man join the show. And I didn't know this man was still alive. Everyone, I want y'all to welcome the man making the walk. What's going on, baby boy?
Come on, man.
Bro, Jax, if I knew you were going to come, I made you a little animated guy too.
Oh, you did?
Jax
in
the building.
I'm going to send him to you right now on Instagram.
Okay, bet.
Jax is alive and well. Woo!
Yeah,
Since it's 2022, since this man has made a circus appearance, and I'm happy to have you in 2025, brother. How are you doing, Jax?
Man, I'm good, man. Family, you know, Christmas, all that stuff. You know, I had to dip off for a little bit, but I mean, I'm glad to see you boys doing your thing. So, yeah, I'm back at it, man. Back at it.
Bro, as the saying goes, my man is back at it like a crack addict, and I am so happy to have you here, brother. Thank you for joining. You just joined in a perfect part. We're getting deep into the card. Crossover was dropping some very good points, though, about Bruno over here. Crossover, what were you saying?
I was just saying that this guy's definitely, I think the reason why it looked familiar, that's when we did our stream on for Contender Series. I think he fought that night.
Yes, bro. Yes, bro, because it was early in the Dana White Contender Series when he fought.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so pretty much I'm going to go with Magomed here before we go into these women fight. I'm going to go with Magomed mainly because it's Bruno's debut. Magomed's going to come at this like a motherfucker, boys. He's a 9-0 Russian, and those motherfuckers do not like to lose. So I'm with the 87%, like the odds were saying, Olin. I'm going to go with them, brother. I got Magomed in this. Probably not by a finish, though, boys. If it does go to finish, I think it's going to be from Bruno Lopez. But that's what we're here to find out. And Jax, you want to give your take on this, brother, or do you want to wait until these very interesting women's flyweight bout that I'm about to pull up?
I'm super interested in how far in depth you go with these women's flyweight.
I actually just can't wait to hear him say the names.
I was about to say, I hope Olin's ready to say names because we got some more fights, folks, and I'm gonna go ahead and get them pulled up for you right now. Olin, you know what? Let me get them and then let me hear your right pronunciation. So I'm gonna go ahead and go with Ernesto Caracata versus Nicole Calorie. Is that right, boys? Oh, give me the pronunciation if I'm wrong. Give me that. Give me that.
Cagliari?
So it's Ernesto Caracate and Nicole Cagliari.
Ooh, hey, and that's how we got MMA Anomaly on the show, boys and girls. Not only for
Cagliari, you got to say it with a little bit of Italian in you, brother.
He said the most complicated name more accurate than he did the easier.
That's what's crazy. Like he only missed that one by like one enunciation. The first one, I was like, oh man, the big guy's gonna do
it. Hey, just had an interview earlier, all right? Little fucked up on the tongue. That's what I'm gonna blame it on. That's why you're here, brother. Not just for your soundboard, but for that pronunciation. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw it to you, fucking John Anik. Give me who you got right here. And please, let's not spend too much detail on this fight.
I understand.
Yeah, we'll keep it pretty brief, man. Look, this is not one that I have a ton of heat on. Another one that there's just not a lot of steam on, right? There's a reason it's on the prelims. There's a reason it's starting off the first fight card of the year. I think that this one should actually be lower on the fight card, but I understand the stack ranking, right? They want to get people tuned in, and then if you want to get up to go grab a beer, maybe this is the time. But again, you got Ernesto Caracate coming in at 5-1 against Nicole Cagliari. Dude, I'm not going to bet on this fight. I can tell you that much. Do I have a dog in the race even? Fuck, even that's tough. But gun to my head, I think I would probably lean towards Nicole Cagliari. I know she has twice the losses, but look, her opponent only has one loss. And if you look at what this woman does do, I know you're not going to like this, Sterling. So maybe just earmuffs or mute the headphones. But she's a pretty exciting fighter, dog. She finishes. She either finishes or she gets grinded out. So I'm going to take a page out of the book of crossover MMA here and say I might hedge this if good odds come out as far as a finish versus a decision, because I think her opponent's only path to victory is via decision. And I think Cagliari can go out there and get it done. I mean, any way she wants to. She can knock her out. She can submit her. That's pretty much what she does. And she typically does it pretty damn early in the first or second round. Interested to hear what Jax has on this one, because I know he's super excited about it.
Let's go.
Man, I'm going to go with Cagliari because I really want there to be some excitement. Like, I mean, if we're going to have this fight, I guess you can put quote unquote late in the card, like at least be exciting. And if Cagliari wins, I would expect that there would be some excitement. So I'm gonna roll with her.
Jax, that's how you keep it, baby. Nice and simple for these female fights. Eric, if you need the names pulled back up, I can do that for you. But if you're free dogging, let's go.
I don't know, man. Maybe I wrote these notes backward, but I'm seeing Ernesta at 7.9 strikes landed per minute at a 40% rate. So to me, she seems like the more exciting fighter, and she was robbed, it seems like, on her last fight. I see Ernesta taking it down to the ground because she is she's the shorter fighter, and Ernesta is going to strike her to death. So I am taking Ernesta on this one.
Not bad. I like that. I like the switch up right there. And I also like the stats, brother. Crossover. Who we got, man?
Yeah, so I'm with y'all on how exciting Cagliari is.
Cagliari.
All that. Like,
it helps if you do the hands, bro.
I'm fully on board with that. But my main issue with her in this fight, bro, is Ernesta has a 6-inch height advantage and a 9-inch reach advantage. Like, for me in the women MMA fights, size matters so much because you just see they get tangled up, they end up on the ground, and the bigger, stronger woman just controls the fight to the end. I know that's not what we all want to see. We all want to see some excitement, but I just feel like we've seen this story before, so I'm gonna go with the bigger girl. What can I say? I'm going with Ernesta.
Bro, I'll be real honest, the crossover. That is a great point, bro. Like the bigger females in this and like more powerful, more dominant is 100% the way to go. Because these bitches ain't out here to finish fights. These bitches are out here to go to decision and maintain this career as long as they can until they end up like Jessica I and get their shit kicked back by the bullet. But went a little off topic there. That's just how your boy feels about women's MMA.
I'll never have female fighters as an interview ever.
Hey, I'll tell you this right now, bro. I'm gonna go ahead and go with Cagliari. Fuck.
When you say it, it sounds so Brazilian.
I know. As I was saying it, I was like,
Cagliari.
Thank you. I'm overthinking it. Like Lane said, I'm overthinking it.
Bro. Stick with Ernesta.
Just spit it out, bro. Just spit it out.
Yeah. Just say it real fast, man.
Hey, what Lane said. I'm going with what Lane said, all right? Until I see some performances out of these bitches, I'm not worried too much about their pronunciation. But you know what I am?
Let me just stop streaming this to my channel real quick. Sorry.
Bro, yes.
Hey, but you know what I am excited about? This fight right here, boys. Preston Parsons versus Jacoby Smith. Crossover. Go ahead and take the lead on this, brother, because I think we're all going to be pretty different on this one.
So in this one, man, like Jacoby Smith, I remember watching him on Contender Series. Really liked his control, his grappling. We've all seen that highlight of where he like just threw his knee into another guy's knee to get a takedown and then get the ground and pound finish. I think he's going to have an athleticism and a speed advantage in this fight. And I'm just looking for him to come in, make a good presentation of his skills. But Preston Parsons is crafty. He's a gamer, going to be there, but I'm going with Jacoby Smith.
Hey, Pro, I'm going to go ahead and take this one with you because I'm agreeing with you, bro. I'm going to throw this over to Jax after, but I'm going with Jacoby Smith as well. Like you said, bro, that dude doesn't give a fuck what happens to his body out there. He is down to get down. That dude, and besides him being just stacked for a welterweight, the power he brings down there, dude, at 170, and the excitement from Preston Parsons, look out for this to be fight of the night, folks. This is going to be a fucking banger. Dana knows what he's doing here. Everyone's going to the restroom to the fight before this. Get your food ready and then sit down because from here on out, it's wars. Jax, give me that pick, son.
Man, I think this is easy, man. I would go with Jacoby Smith, too. I mean, I don't think
100%.
I don't think that Preston Parsons can stop him from doing whatever he wants to do with him. So, like, it's Jacoby Smith easy.
Yeah, bro. Olin?
Yeah, man. I'm just gonna ride the hype train on through. I'll keep mine short and sweet. We're going Jacoby Smith. He might as well be Jacoby Bryant the way he's gonna go out there and fucking hit it on him. I mean, I think he's gonna make it look easy, and I think he gets it done inside the first 2 rounds. If I'm being honest with you.
And what Lazy Bet just said, so hype for this. Jacoby Smith, future title challenger, been on this fella since Fury FC. Speaking of Fury FC crossover, we got anything coming up, son?
Next Sunday, brother.
Ooh,
Next
shit.
Sunday.
We ain't gonna get that location out, folks. But maybe me, Eric, and crossover end up at a Fury FC card next Sunday. So shout out Lazy Bet. But before we do that and drop that cheddar, Eric, who we got, son?
Did this fight get changed?
I don't think so.
Was he supposed to fight someone else?
It did.
Okay.
He was originally slated to fight Andreas Gustafsson.
So
Oh,
either way,
was he really?
I got Preston losing. I had Bane winning. So I'm just gonna go ahead and take Jacoby because I already had him losing in this fight. But yeah, I was setting up on the Andreas Gustafsson, Bane, aka Bane. That dude, I want to see that motherfucker fight.
I would have rather seen him fight fucking Jacoby Smith, if I'm being honest.
Yeah,
That would have been a banger of a matchup.
I was watching,
bro. That would be a tough UFC debut for the kid right there, though.
Oh my god!
I mean, that'd be real tough. They wouldn't be doing him any favors.
Just throwing him out there.
Oh, sorry for your luck, bud.
Yeah, and Lane said Gustafsson was my lock. And also, boys, let's be real here.
Yeah.
Stewart's coming in the chat dropping heat. Dern's ass is the main event, boys. I mean, not to get too much into it, Stern, but we're getting there, brother, and you're not lying. But
what's
yeah,
the top bottom apple shot on that?
It's usually gonna happen. It's 75% chance we're gonna get that.
Nice.
But before we get to that, we got another absolute scrap to get to, boys. And honestly, I'm so excited to still see this dude in the game. He gets a lot of hate, but lately, man, he's been kind of putting it on motherfuckers lately. And I'm excited to see what he does here against another dog like Trey Ogden. So we are going to go with, give me one fucking second, folks. It's going to pull up here in a minute. Your boy's working on it. We're going to go with Thiago Moises versus Trey Ogden. Yeah, folks. Had a little issue there, a little technical difficulties, but hey, we're here and we're gonna push through it. We got 2 OG vets going at it with Trey Ogden versus Thiago Moises and Jax. Start it off, brother. Who you got here?
You know what? I first of all, you were talking about that other fight possibly being fight of the night. There's a possibility this one goes that direction too.
Facts.
But I'm gonna roll with Moises. What I didn't realize is for as long as we've seen him in the UFC, I didn't realize that he's not even 30 yet.
Yep.
Like that dude, he's been putting in a lot of work and he's not even 30. So I think that he's 29, man.
Yep.
Holy fuck.
Yeah. So he hasn't hit, what could be considered his prime. So I think that, it's a possibility that he could put something together here and make a statement that he's somebody, you can't just forget about. So I'm going with Moises.
And folks, before I throw it over here to Eric, drop your picks in the chat as well with us, like Lane's doing over here. Lane's going with Moises all fucking day. And I'm not gonna lie to you, Lane. We all might be right there with you, but let's see what Eric has to say right here.
So just looking at stats and everything else, they seem pretty similar. Basically, I was looking for this fight to end up on the cage with striking. I think Thiago will have the advantage with the striking, but for some reason, going back and looking at film, I did pick Trey Ogden to win this fight.
Not a bad pick, dude. He's an old dog. Yeah, he's just an old dog in the game still, bro. It's not a bad pick at all.
Crafty veteran. Yeah, I feel like he'll dominate once they get on the cage. But like I said, Moises, I think he'll dominate if it stays on the feet. If it goes to the cage in the ground, we got Ogden taking this.
That's it. I think you froze right there. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you, brother. That's not a bad way of looking at it. Crossover: Thiago Moises or Trey Ogden.
So I'm glad Jax touched on how old Moises is, because when I did my little preview prediction video, I was like, this dude is only 29. It's wild. And just to think, this man fought Islam Makhachev 4 years ago, guys. Like the guy's been in there.
Yeah, Sean O'Malley.
Yeah, he's been in there with some absolute killers, elite fighters, and the guy's still just now getting into his prime. And I think that little bit of adversity he saw, got a chance to learn from it, and he just has grown up right before our eyes in the UFC. Ogden has been on a little bit of momentum here lately, but at the end of the day, I mean, he's 35 on the tail end of that career. I think the BJJ kind of cancels each other out because Ogden is a BJJ guy and Moises is as well. But ultimately, I'm just going to go with Thiago Moises.
That's a very good way of breaking it down, bro. I cannot believe he's 29, man. He's got like that Jose Aldo, Max Holloway effect to them where you think these guys are 40 and you find out, bro, they're not even in their prime yet, dude. And like you said, bro, him fight Islam 4 years ago is fucking crazy. He was ranked. I think he was top 12, top 13. Like, It's wild, man. Seeing him now still in the game fighting another dog like Trey Ogden. Olin, who you got, bro?
Man, I'm gonna ride the bandwagon on home with all these other folks. Sorry, Eric, I gotta go with Thiago Moises here, brother. The reason being, like,
lazy.
Look, I like Trey Ogden. I really do. I think he's got a very fun style, and he's a grinder. He's a stylistic fighter that you don't really see a lot here often anymore, right? Like, he is very much willing to die on his shield out there, and you see it. You saw it in the Kurt Holobaugh fight, which was a very close fight. But again, speaking of the Kurt Holobaugh fight, that's his biggest fight and his biggest win, and it was a very, very closely contested fight against a Kurt Holobaugh who had to fight his way back into the UFC. And both of you guys like somewhat went over the biggest fight of his opponent's career, Thiago Moises. That was 4 years ago against Islam Makhachev.
Crazy.
And by the way, Trey Ogden's best path to victory is the grappling, is the submissions, in my humble opinion. Only person that's ever submitted Thiago fucking Moises is Islam Makhachev, folks. You think Trey Ogden brings that to the table? I'm not trying to discredit his black belt, but maybe Islam would want to. I just don't think he's going to bring the power or the skill or the finesse or the urgency that Islam brought. And that's just a recipe for disaster when you're in there against a veteran that's very wily and very game and sharp and durable like Thiago Moises. I think Thiago Moises probably wins this fight any way he chooses to. If I had to, gun to my head, decide the outcome of this fight, I got a weird feeling he ends up going out there and actually submitting the submission artist.
Who give him black belt?
Who give these guys black belts? No, we got to take these black belts away. They make Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu look bad, brother.
Hey, and honestly, like Lane said and how all y'all are saying, I think this fight is leaning towards a sub. And it is kind of crazy that he's been in the UFC for 6 years already, Lane. That is insane, boys. So he's been in the UFC since he was, 24, 23?
Yep.
Fucking A, bro. I couldn't imagine. Bro, I'm 27. I couldn't imagine getting the UFC right now with these motherfuckers. Like, guys like... Yeah, I was just about to say, bro. Guys like him, Raul, Chase Hooper, all these guys, Max Holloway, that came in young, bro, and are in the UFC before 25 to me.
We got one on the card. We got one on this card.
Who?
Bashi.
Bashi.
Oh,
my guy, Cross. I knew exactly who you were talking about, bro. That's my fight of the night. I've heard you guys talk about two potential fight of the nights. That's my fight of the night pick.
So we got two more of them.
I was about to say,
fights money.
I was about to say, when another fight is money, folks, if you want to win some money, put all your fucking money on Ihor. Oh, let's go for this. Patera. Put y'all's money on the Ukrainian motherfucker Potieria. This is going to be a nasty knockout. This dude's a motherfucker. And I'll be real with y'all. I don't know too much about Marco. I'll be real with y'all. So I'm going into this with a very one-sided point of view, and I just know Ihor fucks people up and is down to get down. I know that record might say 20-7, folks, but this man's a killer. And if you got Jesus Christ tattooed on your chest like that, like here, folks, you better be doing something. So, Jax, let's start out with you, brother. Who we rocking with, young Marco or the old school vet, Ihor?
Man, I understand what you're saying about Potieria. He's a vet. Been around, done everything that Tulio is thinking about doing, but man, I think Tulio is too hot right now, man. And Potieria, he gets in these these situations. I'll say that he'll get in some situations. And Tulio, I don't know if that's the one you want to do that with, so I'm going Tulio.
Hey, that's not a bad point. And I'm not gonna lie to you, Lane. I've been training with a little bit too many Brazilians, and they got me feeling a little different. All right, como vai você, motherfuckers? But Eric, who we going with here, big dog?
Yeah, I agree with Jax, man. I was looking at the stats; they're pretty similar. I went back and I started watching some of the fights of Tulio, and he just looks a lot cleaner. I think he's gonna take this one. I have him. Yeah, I have him winning. Not sure how that's gonna end up, but I do have him winning, beating your boy.
I was about to say, what a breakdown there. You just rocking with Jax for no fucking reason, just to hate. No explanation in that at all. This dude just went up there and said,
I just said I went back and watched all his fights, and I think he's the clean. No, that's only in the UFC. He's actually 12-1.
That's a good point. I'm hating a little bit. I'm not gonna lie to you because I feel like I'm gonna be the only one picking the Ukrainian over here.
You might be.
But hey, that's why I throw it over to Crossover to bring it on home with the boy, baby. Who we going with, young Crossover?
So for me in this fight, man, I actually got a chance to see Potier fight in person in UFC Austin, and he got melted, bro. He got melted. I'm gonna be honest, dog. And then I'm gonna give you a couple stats, bro. He's 1-4 in his last 5 fights, dog, and that's just the facts. I'm going with Marco, dog, and I think Marco gets a finish and gets Ihor up out of there, dog, and that's probably the last time we see him in the UFC, bro.
Oh, God dang. Is it casual S-Dog day? Do I not know about Marco, boys? Is he a motherfucker like that? I mean, y'all tell me. I didn't know Marco got down like that.
I mean, what was the other two? The other 2 fights were on Contender Series, right?
He's an absolute son of a bitch.
70% finish rate.
Yeah. And I mean, 8 by way of knockout, 1 by way of submission. The dude is an absolute monster. And if you watch his previous tape, not just on the Contender Series, the right hand, the best way I can think of to describe it, it's a fucking piston in a car, bro. Like it is mechanical. The way that he throws it down the pipe, just pow, and it's in your fucking face. There's nothing you can do about it. In some of his fights, people make the read. They get their hand up, and it just melts the fucking guard. And to what Crossover was saying literally just a moment ago about seeing your boy in Austin, I mean, like, it's going to melt his guard too, I truly think. And something that I don't think anybody's mentioned is he trains at a fucking shoot the box, bro. Like, he trains with Charlie and the boys. Yeah. Charlie Olives and the homies. You're betting against that guy? Yeah. I mean,
I know,
it's going to be tough, bro.
I know, Brax. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. And like Mike Young said, this is why we got Crossover. My man comes in here providing nothing but statistical stats, son, which I'm pretty sure is the same thing as statistical. But
statistical stats, as Mike Goldberg once said about Anderson Silva, he has some of the most accurate accuracy you'll ever see.
Hey, I'm just making the point known. And we appreciate everyone in the chat. Shout out Mike Young, shout out Brax, and also shout out Lane, son. Tulia,
and also quick shout out to Jasmine.
The fuck did she get a shout out for?
Sterling, dude, you're one of one.
Why wouldn't she get a fucking shout out, brother?
Hang on, time out. Crossover. That's a way of being like, you're fucking out of there. All right, that's a nice way of fucking saying
bro.
That.
Bro, everybody wants to be 1-on-1, dog. Everybody. freaking MMA anomaly. It's 1-on-1, bro. Yeah. 1-on-1.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie to you, Crossover. I appreciate you, brother. And that's why you're the fucking man. And I'm glad to have you on the show today. You know that? And I'm gonna use my scientific science over here, like Lane just said. And I'm gonna get this next fight pulled up for y'all because obviously I'm picking with my heart today, and I'm not picking with the statistical stats. So let's go ahead.
You can do that from time to time. From time to time.
Sometimes you don't rock with S-Dog's picks because he picks with his heart. All right, big heart over here is all I can say. Like Crossover just said, 1-of-1, which is who this next fight also is, folks. We got Jose Johnson versus Felipe Burns, boys and girls. Not to be
Where's
related
the R?
My guy's a pirate just looking for R wherever he can find them.
Where's the R? Burns? Where's the R?
Oh man.
George Johnson. And
Jax,
Felipe
don't do
Burns.
that, Jax.
Good lord.
Don't do that. Don't fucking do that.
Where's the R?
Jax?
Oh
Jax
my
does.
God.
Oh,
Felipe Burns.
Jax.
Felipe Burns.
Man, look at that. I mean, there's not even
That's
R in his
the
name
newest
mythical
anywhere.
fighter,
Not even in the
Felipe
first
Burns.
name.
I mean, like Buns, Bunez. I would have even accepted Boonies, bro. Like Burns. He said Burns.
Man.
Golly, that's a good one, man.
Dude.
We got Contagious Rumors and Felipe Burns. That's good.
Oh. And I was-
Contagious
and you
rumors
know
will
what?
never be topped.
Contagious rumors is hilarious. And you know what? Hey, Darren, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm sorry, brother. This is why we do it live. Lane, I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell y'all, okay? I don't know what to tell y'all. Shout out Western Match Climber for being here. Big appreciate you, brother. Big appreciate everyone in the chat. I was so caught up. I thought I was about to drop a bar. I was gonna be like, Felipe Burns, not to be confused with Gilbert Burns. Olin, go ahead and take this over, brother. And then I looked back and I was like, man, I fumbled the fucking bag. Yeah. Hey, we're dialing up here today, folks. And you know what? I'm starting off with Jax now. Jax, Felipe Buns or fucking whatever his name is. Fucking Felipe or Jose, Jax? Felipe or fucking Jose? You tell me, brother. Jax, get in the zone. Jax, Jax, we're live, dude. Let's go.
Bruh, okay. I'm not going with Felipe Burns. I know that. I know I'm not picking him. But I'm going to go with Jose Johnson just because he's a real person. I don't know who Felipe Burns is.
Hey,
man.
Lade, he had that locked and loaded. He had that locked and loaded all day, Lade. You're right. You're right. But before I get to your pick, Jax, like the lazy bet here, I'm still trying to find the odds for the debut of Mr. Burns. You're gonna have to look a while, lazy bet, because he's a motherfucker to deal with. So Jax, give us your pick, brother.
I'm gonna go with Jose Johnson, man.
Oh, for real? Oh, my bad. I thought
I
you were
really
just
am.
fucking right. Oh, okay.
I really am. Just because, but no, I think that he's just more talented, and I think they really want to. They want him to win because he has a little personality, some charisma. So I'm gonna go with Jose Johnson.
And for a flyweight, bro, to be 6 inch taller, that's gonna
that's
be
insane.
trouble.
I don't
That's
know
gonna
how
be
he's making this
trouble.
weight. I really don't.
Bro, he's fucking huge too. Anomaly. Who you got in this, brother?
So the crazy thing is, I mean, he is so much taller than his opponent, but
Dude.
he only has a 2.5 inch reach advantage. Like the ape index of Felipe Buns, as S-Dog's been calling him, or sorry, Burns, it's wild. It's wild stuff. That being said, I still can't get behind him. I mean, neither guy has the craziest best record you'll ever see, but I do think Jose Johnson brings more tools to the table. And I just think at this point in their career, just like Jack said, like they're trying to push him. They want him to win. He does have a sprinkle of personality. And you know, anybody that has a sprinkle of personality that they can market anywhere outside of the US is always a fucking win for the UFC. We know this. You know this, brother. So give me Jose Johnson, and hopefully Burns has a better fight in the octagon than we had pronouncing his name today.
Shout out Burns. Eric, give us that pick, son.
So looking at the stats, and I'm just going on stats here, Johnson with 2.22 significant strikes landed per minute, and Felipe Burns at 5.25. Now he's only landing those at 56%, but his takedowns are 3.15 per 15 minutes. Now, watching back at some of Jose Johnson's older fights, he does seem to look like he struggles a little bit with the ground. So once again, that's kind of where I see this going. He's just not strong enough because he's so tall in the flyweight. Maybe he should have stayed at Bantam. Who knows? But I am going to be the guy taking Felipe on this one.
Hey, you're with Flippy Buns, baby.
Flippy Buns.
Woo! Shout out Lazy, brother. We big appreciate that. Flippy Buns is here to shock the fucking world, folks. Crossover.
If you don't flip it, burns. Flippy Burns.
Crossover. Are we going with Flippy Buns or are we going with Jose?
So, man, Jose, for starters, man, Jose's a 6-foot flyweight, which is
That's crazy.
massive, which is crazy. Then on top of it, man, Felipe, the guy's 35 at flyweight. I mean, at that weight class, being that age, Father Time's undefeated. And then on top of it, like the guy absorbs like over 8 significant strikes per minute. So the guy gets hit a lot. So with all that, I'm going with Jose Johnson.
I'm right there with you, bro. I'm going with Jose Johnson. The fact that I think he's eventually going to step up to 135 because I don't think he can keep making this weight, boys. And he's not really that active anyways.
He already was at bantamweight. I think he went down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder why. What do y'all think he went down for? I mean, was he doing bad at bantamweight?
I think he was looking for a power advantage and a reach advantage. He was having real trouble with the power of the guys at 135. Sorry, Cross.
Oh, I was just saying. So he fought at flyweight, then went up to bantamweight, and now he's coming back to flyweight.
Oh, that's crazy how guys can do that, man. Especially in the UFC.
Just picking on the little guys. Fuck that dude.
I know, man. What the fuck's going on? We got weight bullies in this bitch today, dude.
Then you got people like Dustin Poirier who decided to go up after having a whole ass career at featherweight, and he's like, I can fight these bigger guys. Fuck it, why not?
Charles Oliveira.
Yep, Charles did it.
Yeah, 145
Whitaker.
Stepped up.
Whitaker did that too.
Whitaker, yeah.
Whitaker
definitely
did do that. Yeah, Whitaker became the legend at 185. Same thing with Hooker. Hooker went to 145, went to 55, went back down. He's back up at 55. Like, it's kind of crazy, man, how these guys fuck around. Kevin Holland was at 185, fought Thiago Santos. Bro,
can we not talk about Kevin Holland switching weight classes? If Kevin Holland could just fucking stay at 170, he'd be a champion.
Yeah, he'd be a motherfucker.
He would murk like 95% of the whole fucking weight class, bro. He's a problem, dude. He's so big.
Buckley. That's another one.
Joaquin Buckley.
That's his son.
Buckley.
That's his son.
True. You're not wrong.
That's true.
You're not wrong.
That's true.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Let's not forget about that. Let's not forget who made a booger fly out his nose during a fight. Kevin Holland's
that win looks real good right now too.
Bro,
looks real good.
Bro,
that was at middleweight too, right?
Yeah, that was during COVID, dude.
Yeah.
That was during COVID, bro.
He lined him up and was just firing down the pipe, talking shit the whole time. My God, what a guy.
Bro, and I was lazy. Thank you. I was just about to say this, bro. I was just about to say something about that. How about Sean Woodson being a heavyweight and is a featherweight? People talk about Brian Battles going from heavyweight to 170, Jared Cannonier, heavyweight to 185. It's fucking wild that this fool went from heavyweight and is a monster at 145. I bet he brings fucking crack too, crossover.
Cannonier's the best one though. Like he's the one that got to the weight class and just looked the absolute best. Like that dude still looked like he's like 25, 27 years old.
And what's wild about Cannonier is if you look at him when he started at like heavyweight and then when he went down to light heavyweight, etc., he looks like a different fighter every single time. Like his body shape changes so much. And I know there's something to like having a different haircut, cutting the facial hair a little bit differently, like lining up the beard a little different. But dude looks totally fucking different. Like Cheeto Vera. Like every time you see this dude at a different weight class or at a different fight event, you're like, that same guy? Shit. And he somehow looks younger at the lower weight classes.
Yeah,
like most of the time when you see these guys go down in weight, it sucks in their face. They look like fucking Skeletor. Cannonier's like, nah, not me. I'm good.
Hey, Cheeto looks like a different human. He'll fight in 4 months and come out like a completely different human being, bro. Have 6 new tattoos on his head too. Like it's fucking wild.
Yeah.
Hey, Roger. Roger, god damn it, dude. I can't do podcasts.
Oh my god.
Look, hey Jax, don't even, all right? Don't even, Jax. I haven't seen you in 6 years. Maybe it's you, Jax. Maybe you're making me nervous. How about
It's 6 years.
Well, I know you haven't been reading since I've been gone. I know that.
Oh my god.
Let's get to this next fight. Fuck you, Jax. Let's get to this next fight. Boys, I'm not pronouncing this one. Oh, please get this one from me. Fuck you guys tonight, man. I'm tired of the slander over here, man.
So we got a welterweight bout.
This is probably fight of the night.
This is definitely going to be a banger of a fight. We have a welterweight bout between Punahele Soriano coming in against Uroš the Doctor Medic. I'm intrigued. Eric, who do you have in this one, bro?
Yeah, once again, I'm intrigued as well, man. I was looking at this as what I feel like is going to be a banger of a fight. I do have the doctor on this one, as you say, the doctor, the medic. In my
That's a
notes,
dope
I
nickname.
wrote, yeah, I wrote that he's a little bit longer, and if he's smart, he uses that to advantage. But he is going to have to watch out for those heavy hands of Soriano, excuse me. Oh, shit, I can't read either. Damn. Yeah,
I'm
so
gonna get you.
I know. Damn, we all gotta go back and get that fucking speaking spells.
Look at what
Jesus.
Lane said too. Lane said, "Gotta go back and get heroes and stuff."
Nah, he don't need to learn another language. He just needs to focus on this one, English.
Yeah. English is fucking me up right now, boys. I'm not gonna lie to you. But go ahead, Eric.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, I'm taking the doc.
I'm taking the doc. Crossover. Who we got, brother?
So this is my fight of the night right here. If it lasts long enough,
Yes, sir.
like this fight
Yes,
is gonna
sir.
be all action for as long as it lasts.
Yes.
Hopefully it goes over 2.5, and then we get a finish after that. Because I think both guys are gonna land. I can think both guys are gonna hurt one another, and it's just gonna be literally poetry in motion. But for me, man, I'm going with the Dr. Udos Medic.
Jax. Who you going with here, brother?
Man, I feel like I've been rooting for Punahele Soriano for his entire
Yep.
career. Like, he's just kind of a likable person, right? But
And he's
if I'm looking,
big, dude.
he's big. He is big. But if I'm
Fucking
looking at
big.
what's supposed to happen based on their skills, Udos Medic should walk away with this one, man. He's just too crafty, too smart. I mean,
Mhm.
the margin for error is small because if Soriano hits you, it's going to be a
Mhm.
problem. But I'm
Bro.
gonna go with Medic. I'm gonna go with Medic to pitch a shutout on this one.
He kind of reminds me of a
100%
young
agree.
Brad Tavares. You know what I'm saying? Like just the
Absolutely.
size, the power he
Absolutely.
brings, bro. Bro, like you said,
But
he
even
throws
heavier-handed.
fucking-
Yeah.
I'm just about to say, he throws coconuts. This dude throws.
I literally was gonna say, like, there
was.
was another fighter that I would always mix up with Punahele, whose nickname was Coconut Bombs. I feel like
Mhm.
Punahele's nickname should be Coconut Bombs because that's what he's got on both hands.
100% that should be his fucking nickname, dude.
Like,
And
if he hits you, those things are just blowing up in your fucking face, brother.
Absolutely.
And like Crossover was saying about Ihor earlier, if he loses, this is probably the last time we see him in the UFC, boys. What y'all's thoughts on that? And shout out Dixon Sider.
Maki Patolo, my fucking guy, Dixon Sider.
Yes,
Thank you with the
sir.
save. Coconut
Dixon
bombs.
Sider, baby. Let's go. Hey, threw bombs for real too. But boys, what y'all think about that? Is it if he loses, is this gonna be the last time we see him in the UFC
Well,
for Puna?
I mean, I think it will be, and I'll just quickly give my pick before we move on too much here. I'm with everybody else. I think Euros the Dr. Medic gets it done.
Yeah,
I
100% same.
I gotta say though, Jax, you were spot on the money, bro. Like very, very likable character, a very likable person is Punahele Soriano. And every time I see him walk out there, like it kind of reminds me of like when Johnny Hendricks first started his run in the UFC. Like the smile on his face as he's walking to the octagon is just pure glee. And when you see that kind of like genuine smile, you're watching the TV sitting there, whether you're drinking water like Crossover or whiskey like me, anywhere in between, you can't help but fucking smile back at the TV, bro. You're like, yeah, I love how happy this guy is. This is great. I want this dude to win. But yeah, Puna gives me Danny Castillo vibes. Danny Castillo, one of the nicest dudes I've ever met. Had a shot and a beer with him, speaking of booze. But dude,
He's
Punahele,
a
like
bullshit guy.
you really want to go for this guy. But
Yeah.
I think stylistically, this is the worst case scenario for him. You have the old style UFC slugger that will just plant himself like a fucking tree in a river and throw bombs at you versus the guy that is more of a stylistic, somewhere between Taekwondo and Muay Thai style striker where he cuts angles. He'll dip outside and hit you with a body shot and then go up top once you lower your guard. I think a situation like that is exactly what we're going to see in this one, man. I think Euros is going to cut a couple angles on him, make his opponent swing and miss, and when he swings and misses is when he's going to make him pay.
Yeah, bro. Who else is about to, if you don't got anything else, boys, I'm excited to see this fight. Like Crossover was saying earlier, this kid's a motherfucker to deal with, bro. Austin Bashi versus Christian Rodriguez, folks. I know we've said this 7 different fights. This could be fight of the night. This is probably just going to be an ass whooping. Christian Rodriguez is the dog. Don't get me wrong. They gave him a hard ass fight for his debut since the Dana White Contender Series. But This is going to be a motherfucking fight for Austin, dude. And I think he's going to come out swinging hammers. Crossover. I'm assuming you got your boy on this.
So in this, man, I'm just going to start off by saying Christian Rodriguez has been in this position before. Was in the same spot against Raul Rosas Jr.
Yep.
Flying in, coming in, all the excitement, all the hype, undefeated, young kid. And Christian Rodriguez put all that to bed. The only difference is that was at bantamweight. This is at featherweight. Bashi's a much bigger guy. He's going to be the stronger guy. So I think he's going to be able to implement his wrestling and the grappling a little bit better than Raul Rosas was able to do at bantamweight. So I'm going with Bashi to get it done.
Bashi, yeah, brother. I'm gonna be real with you. We're probably gonna all do a clean sweep of Bashi here. Let me see what
live dog though.
Live dog.
C-Rod's a live dog though.
Yeah,
very live dog.
That's what I was about to say. I didn't mean it like this is gonna be just a fucking first round domination. Because like you said, against Raul Rosas Jr., they give you like if they want to see what you're like, this is the guy they give you to. Like we're about to see who you are against Christian, bro. Because this dude does not play that shit. He's just an old school vet who's trying to make it as well, man. Olin, who you got in this one, bro? That was a good breakdown from the young crossover.
Oh man. Well, I'll tell you, I know you're hoping it was gonna be a clean sweep here, but you know who loves a fucking dog. Ooh. Your boy loves a dog. And look, Cross already kind of took the words out of my mouth here. We've seen C-Rod in this position before. He has been up against the hype train before, and all he did was fucking derail the hype train. So I don't think this is going to be very much different. I do like Bashi a lot. I think he has a very promising future in the UFC. And if I'm being honest, I'd rather see C-Rod drop back down to that lower weight class at 135. I just think he performs his best there. But at the same time, like I can't agree with Crossover when he says that he's going to be the stronger guy as Bashi. I mean, he's still the smaller guy technically. He's giving up 1.5 inches in reach. And if you look at the height, he's also giving up 1 inch there. So the bigger guy by all means is C-Rod. And if he has a good weight cut, a good nutritionist, and a good fight camp overall, I think he might go out there and shock quite a few people and prove that experience does pay dividends. Even though they have, pretty much the same level of fight or the same number of fights, he's been here in the UFC, and UFC experience speaks higher levels than anywhere else, really.
Yeah, and before I give it to you over there, Eric, like Lazy just said, crazy to think that Dana said on Contender Series he wasn't going to sign Bashi if he hadn't got a finish. I'm not going to lie to you, Lazy. That's pretty much the unspoken rule of Dana White Contender Series. Unless it's an absolute fucking dog fight. Like, we've seen a couple this year, Crossover. We saw a couple fucking UFC fights on the Dana White Contender Series, bro. These kids got paid 10 bands for an absolute slugfest. But if it's nothing like that, bro, you're not going to get picked up in Dana White Contender Series. It's pretty much the unspoken rule. Dana's looking for fucking finishers, and Bashi's one of those kids, man. Jax, who you got on this one, bro?
Man, this one's tough for me. On one hand, like y'all said, Rodriguez has a lot of experience in this particular situation. And he's kind of become like a prospect gatekeeper all of a sudden. So he is ready to be tested or used as a litmus test to see if these prospects are ready to get a push. But in Bashi, I mean, he's a legit grappler. Like, he's very good at it. But I feel like Rodriguez has seen this game before. I think that he finds a way, crafty. He finds a way to win this.
Bro, and that's kind of what everyone's agreeing with you in the chat, Jax. Like Lane just said, C-Rod's experience is going to be a factor for this. 100%, bro. What Dixon Sider just said right here, I would read it, but I'm having a fucking dyslexic day today. He's pretty much right on, bro. Like Juicy J, here's the thing with him. If C-Rod comes out there and you're going to want to scrap with him, he's fucking down for that. But also, if you want to have an MMA technical fight, he's down for that as well. So this is a really interesting fight, bro. Shout out DJ. Aries the God in the chat. Big appreciate you, brother. Happy to have you sliding in here, big dog. Yeah. And Bashi's got some decent grappling, like Lane just said. 100%, bro. This isn't going to be just a stand-up boxing fight. I think this is going to be a UFC fight. And do y'all think the UFC jitters are going to probably bother him, like what Lazy Bed's saying in here?
Not at all. He already won in there. He's fighting in the Apex again.
Hey, what do we think about that real
Mhm.
quick? Do we think the Apex is going to be done this year?
No, they're renovating it and making it bigger. What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
No.
Oh,
It's-
okay. So they're just gonna.
No, they're just gonna
it's too
make it.
easy.
They're gonna
It's
add
too
seats
easy.
so they can still make money on those too.
Yeah, it's too easy for
Yeah.
the UFC, man. It makes way too much financial sense.
And I didn't mean that like done. Like I mean like, do you think they're gonna have like 1,000 people still at the Apex? But you just answered my question, Olin. I guess.
Oh yeah, no, they're gonna
keep
pump them out because
That's
just like
dope,
salespeople have quotas, like they have quotas of how many fights and how many fight cards they have to put on each year. It just makes it. It's like it's basically the same reason that salespeople will sandbag their wins and say, "Oh, this is what I'm gonna make," so that way they can always hit. Right? They have this kind of sandbag situation where they know if they can't do one in Paris, the Africa one falls through. We'll just fly all the fighters to Vegas and do it here. We don't even have to pay a hosting fee or anything like that. Like we already have all of our ducks lined up.
Yeah, bro. And boys, a fight that I think should be on.
Hey, do I get to pick or what?
Oh
Fuck
shit! I thought you went
Stern.
bashy. I thought
What
you
a
went bashy.
hater.
I thought you went bashy.
Nah.
That's on me, dog. Go
Eric
ahead.
is gonna
You said I
beat
was
your
gonna go
ass next time you guys
before
spar.
Jack, but, hey, I'm all good with letting Jack go before me. But I was like, dang.
My bad, dog. Go ahead, dog. My bad.
Yeah. So
My
as
bad, dog.
it's all good. As everyone's been saying, Rodriguez is like the rook killer. You know, he's the train hype derailer and all that good stuff. But I did go back and watch some of Bashy's fights, and man, that dude's got clean strikings, and his kicks are
Clean.
quick as
Yeah, bro.
fuck. So I do see him actually like putting up a good fight in this, and I do see him looking for the takedown. The thing about his takedown the difference between him and Rojas is that he's much faster. He's a lot faster, so I think he'll get to it a lot quicker and be able to scramble around a lot quicker. So it's going to be a little different than what Rodriguez faced with Rojas. So I am picking Austin on this one.
And Bashy's stronger, bro. Like, not only is his kicks quicker and then more faster than the grappling's better than Raul, he's just a lot bigger, bro. Fortunately, we're coming into contract year for a broadcasting rights deal. We should get some quality cards this year. What y'all's thoughts on that from Lazy Bed? Shout out Lazy Bed.
I mean, it makes sense, like they're right now actively negotiating, trying to get a new deal. So they need to be putting on big
Netflix?
things. So
Netflix?
all these exactly. So these other
Hopefully.
companies like, hey, like we need to invest in this so we can get a part of a piece of this money. So I'm all for it.
Like Mike Young saying, not to be confused with Mike Jones, 281-330-800. Boom! Hit Mike Jones on the fucking low. My gang just said, is the UFC going to do something like WWE or spread across different networks? That's what 100% we're thinking, brother. Maybe they get into some Amazon. Maybe they get some little Paramount. Maybe they get into some Hulu. You know what I'm saying? Who knows? Any live sport action. I'd love to see them go to Netflix, though, boys. I'm not going to lie to y'all. I think
sure.
Netflix is the move for the UFC.
Hopefully
the
they stay on Stream East.
Oh, my God. Fuck. Man, I don't want to talk about that. I saw something the other day, and I don't know how much longer Stream East is going to be around for us. But, hey, whoever's running it, we believe in you. Never stop.
Mike
Never
Yang in the chat has a really good question. I don't know if you saw that. He said, is the UFC going to do something like WWE or spread across different
Motherfucker.
networks like NFL?
Did you not
NBA?
have- where have you been?
Just talked about that.
Where the fuck have
No.
you been?
No, you guys are all saying Netflix, though. Like, you guys really don't think they're going to do the NFL thing and get rights to all these
Did
different
you
fucking
not-
promotions?
Did you not just hear
No.
what I just said? I just said that.
I know. I just disagree, bro. Like,
I don't know if the pie's big enough for that.
you don't think so?
I don't know. Just because I feel like MMA
there's
is-
even
is
more room
still-
for it because of the way that they're able to kind of grow it in different countries.
True.
Like,
that
even
makes
more so
sense.
than NFL, right? Like, in my opinion, I feel like fighting it's universal.
Mhm.
Football, if you go to a
Yeah.
different country, football means something different, bro. Like,
But that's why it makes
punches
sense
to the
for it
face
go
mean
on
the same
Netflix.
shit everywhere.
Every country has Netflix, so it
Yeah.
makes sense for it to go on Netflix. And then you
Which
can
is
I mean,
fine.
find any
that's
other-
fair.
Like they're testing it
And
right
not-
now.
not just
TKO Group is
exclusively.
testing
Yeah,
it.
Jax, you're right. Like what they did with the NFL, like with the
That's
Ravens.
actually the best point is that it's all part of TKO and they are testing it.
Yeah, bro.
That's also part of the reason I,
mean, aren't
think
they
it
doing
makes
it
more sense
tonight?
to test different things with UFC. Is it tonight?
Aren't they doing some WWE?
I thought it was next week.
WWE, yeah, tonight. Yeah, I'm gonna
Yeah,
Oh
watch
shit!
it.
I thought that was next week.
I'm literally
No,
watching
sorry.
it for the UFC. Like that's why I'm watching it. I'm testing
for
it too.
real?
I'm gonna watch it and see like, is
What do you
this
mean, like,
legit?
Oh,
I'm
to like
I'm
see if
watching
it
for
actually
that reason.
streams well.
Yeah, I'm curious. Like, are they going to do a good job? Like the NFL games, they did a pretty good job with the
They
presentation.
did a pretty good job.
NFL
you're
was
right,
good,
you're
but
right.
boxing was garbage.
But here's the
But
thing.
that was
here's
because of how big it was.
Yep,
Fair.
Jax, yeah,
But
yeah,
okay,
yeah,
okay.
got it.
But if we're talking in terms of size, the first time they did this kind of live stream thing was with the Love Is Blind reunion, like fucking 2 seasons ago, and it crashed across all of Netflix. Only people in New York or on the East Coast were able to watch it. I know because I paid for fucking NordVPN so that my girl and her sister could watch that shit.
Yeah,
But that's
bro,
the whole.
look at lazy. It's like Lazy Bed. What Jax is saying, Lazy Bed's like right on with you, bro. It ain't my thing, but WWE Raw debut site on Netflix. They did
Netflix is smart.
They did Paul Tyson, NFL, and Xmas, and now WWE. They're really just building their portfolio. And I'm not gonna lie to you, Jax. I was not giving a fuck about this WWE tonight, but I think I will tonight, bro. I think you're right. Like,
Yeah,
I'm
it's
gonna
only
watch
for
it
that
and
reason.
see. Yeah, just because, bro, I haven't watched wrestling in 20 fucking years. But
It's not much different than what you remember. A little less taboo and less rated R for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
and that's what. Yeah, it's just rough,
Less
bro.
steroids too, probably.
Let's
I don't know if that holds true.
Dude,
If
back
you
in
see
the
these
day,
guys, they're freaks.
back
dude.
in the
Bro.
day though, everybody was a freak
I mean,
back in
that's-
the day, dog.
That's actually very valid.
Look at Mike
That's very
Gay.
valid.
Look at Mike. I was gonna say this to Jax. I was gonna be like, Jax, are you an undercover WWE fan?
That's
You just
different.
going there
UFC
for
No, no,
is
no.
stayed for WWE.
No, I want to see.
Storyline.
I want to see the. I just want to see the presentation. I'm not going to sit there for a whole hour and be like, I'm still wondering. No, I'm going to watch it, see like how's the presentation and all that stuff. So
And-
that's something else that annoys me that Lane said. Like NFL on Netflix with the same amount of ads.
Yes,
Yeah.
dude. Okay, hang on.
That felt kind of like a ripoff.
Hang on, bro. Before you go, my next question was: do y'all think if they go to Netflix, we'll start seeing the walkouts and the cornering a lot more than what we do on ESPN? Because they don't show shit till the main event, bro.
No,
Dude, I pray.
No, because that's revenue that they're missing out on.
Yeah, they have to
That's
make
what
that
NFL
revenue. It's a
do.
big
Dude,
part of the
NFL
revenue
is
stream.
all about getting their money, so they're gonna take ads and
True.
they're gonna do the same exact thing. I mean, I upgraded for no commercials on my Hulu, Disney Plus, all that crap, and I'm like, why am I still seeing commercials on the fights? Because they want shit.
And it's usually like the same. I don't know if it's the same experience for you guys if you're watching on like ESPN Plus, but it's like the same 3 to 4 commercials throughout the entire 7-hour fight.
Oh,
Yes.
it's fucking terrible. I'll tell you
Yep.
what it is.
Cuervo,
Ready for this?
brewed for, or like
ready for this?
Modelo, brewed for those
Nah,
fighting spirit.
Nah, fuck that. I'll tell
Progressive.
you what it is. I'll tell you the 3 commercials they show right now. And Jax, you know what I'm fucking about to say. They show Kevin Holland, Stephen
Yep.
Thompson. They show that
Yes. The
dumbass
Modelo one?
commercial. Oh my
I'll bring
God.
the limes.
They show that
Yes.
dumbass commercial. They show Forrest Griffin, Dominic Cruz, Toyo tires.
Yep.
And then the 3rd commercial they show is fucking Burger King. That stupid fucking Burger King commercial. Fuck Burger
BK
King.
Melt.
Bro, fuck
They do
Burger
play the-
King.
You
I'm
nailed
so
them,
tired
dog.
of that.
You
Bro,
nailed them
Jackson, am I lying? That's the only 3
No.
commercials we see for 7.5
repeatedly.
fucking hours. Fucking
Don't
hours,
forget about
bro.
progressive.
I actually missed the Modelo commercials. At least they had like a dope little soundbite, you know?
Bro, it used like wasn't Justin Gaethje in one?
There was a Justin Gaethje commercial. They've
Yeah, it
done
was
they've done like a
Gaethje,
handful of them,
and
and they also
was
had the
it-
Dustin Poirier Toyo tires one too.
What you say crossover? Gaethje and who?
It was
for Modelo?
it was Gaethje and what was the
Chad,
guy? The
help
guy
us.
from Seattle, Washington, the
Chiesa?
grappler. Chiesa, that's who it was.
Oh damn, Jack.
And they also
the
had the
face-off
Brian
one.
Ortega one, right? Didn't they do a
Oh,
Brian
yeah.
Ortega
Yeah.
Modelo one?
Yeah. Dude, the best one ever is
Brian
John
Ortega
Jones.
had a choice.
The best one ever is John Jones, Uriah Faber when they got
Oh yeah, I remember that one.
Kenny Powers?
Yes. That's the best
Oh,
commercial.
What do you
they
think
did.
that's gonna do? Dude,
Yeah.
Kenny Powers is fucking amazing.
Yeah, that's the best one. And to get to some of the chat a little bit, Dixon Cider, we don't know what happened to those illegal streams, brother, because we don't use them. Do y'all know what happened to Met streams? Hey, brother, we don't know, Dixon Cider. We don't use
Don't
them.
know. Don't know.
Like Stewart-
ESPN
like
Plus,
Stewart
brother.
just said, dude, we're not breaking the law, brother. We buy the fights, folks.
Yep.
Streaming to your podcast on a service that comes preloaded to a Netflix TV would be huge for UFC. That would be kind of fucking dope. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Mhm.
That would be pretty fucking amazing. Folks, we still got a couple more fights to get to. We got a little off topic here, but to bring it back on track, boys, this fight should be on a main card for a pay-per-view. I cannot believe we're getting this for free for ESPN Plus. We got an absolute banger with Chris Curtis and Roman Kopylov. This is gonna be a fucking scrap. Crossover. Who do you got into this, my man?
How did he get
So
that right?
first off, this is Chris Curtis' first fight back from that injury he had. Roman Kopylov got Roman Kopylov got a gritty win in his last fight, a bounce back after his fight with Fluffy Hernandez. I think this fight's definitely gonna play out on the feet. We got two strikers. Chris Curtis just gonna pretty much just boxing and Philly shell. Roman Kopylov's gonna be boxing, and he's also got some very dangerous kicks. For me, I'm gonna go with Roman Kopylov here.
Roman, you're going with fucking Roman Kopylov right now?
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck? Before I throw it over to Jax, let me go ahead and give my fucking pick. I'm going with Curtis, baby boy. I'm with Western Mass. 100%, brother. But like Lane just said right here, Kopylov might steamroll him. He might, but here's the thing. Chris Curtis is the fucking action man. And my man's going to go out there and put on a fucking slugfest like normal. Jax, who do you got in this street fight, dude?
Man, Curtis is another person that I've been a big fan of, but I'm a fan of Kopylov as well. And I think that
don't do it.
He can make it gritty. If he can make it gritty and stay inside, where he likes to fight. And Roman, he may do that. But it's really all about what Roman's decision making is. If he decides to keep it at range, then he can win the fight. But if Chris breaks in there and Roman obliges, I think that Chris is tougher than Roman. So I'm gonna go with Chris using his instincts and his knowledge to get inside and putting a hurting on Roman.
Hey, Jax, my guy. Let's go. We know crossovers part fucking Dagestani and in Spain. So we appreciate you for bringing it back home to America, brother. Eric, Chris Curtis or the Ukrainian?
I like both. I think you're kind
DJ.
of picking with your heart again.
Hey, dude. Chill out.
So I'm going with Kopylov. I think he will implement his game. I think he'll circle around. I think he knows better than to get in there and scrap it out with Chris Curtis.
Lazy.
So that's the reason I have him taking this fight.
Before I give it to you, Olin, before we all go America over here, but crossover, do you know about this? Is he still at Extreme Couture? I'm pretty sure I saw him in a picture recently.
Yeah, they were in a picture recently. Yeah.
He's still at Extreme Couture. I didn't know they had a falling out.
Well, no, bro. They always have a falling out, bro. They beef every fucking 2 weeks.
Yeah,
like they talk shit to each other, but they're boys.
Fighting style.
Yeah.
Hey,
that's fair.
Hey, both their fighting styles are crazy, bro. I mean, it is the weirdest fucking it's the weird. Yeah. It is, bro.
Man.
It is.
Come on, man. What are we doing here?
Yeah, it is goofy, bro. Lazy. You got questions, we got answers, son. But Olin, while I'm reading Dick's Insider over here, who you got, brother?
Well, I'll tell you, man. You're not gonna like this very much. Maybe earmuffs or take the headphones off. I'm a cross on this one, brother.
God damn.
Look, we're both from Dagestan, me and Cross. I don't know if you know that about us. We're actually related. We're twin brothers. Twin brothers, me and this guy. See the resemblance?
Crossover to Margomedov and MMA fucking Magomedov Shedopov. Go ahead.
Boy, you better shut your... No, I like Roman Kopylov in this. Look, I'm with Jax when it comes to the fact that I like both of these guys. I really do. I just think Roman Kopylov has more paths to victory. He was on a 4-fight, not win streak, a 4-fight knockout streak in the UFC, getting a round 3 knockout over Alessio Di Chirico, getting a round 2 knockout over Punahele Soriano, who we just talked about with pretty high praise. And then a head kick knockout in round 2 over Claudio Ribeiro. And then Mr. You Thought You Had a Friend, Josh Fremd, got liver punched into fucking oblivion in round 2 himself. So I like Roman Kopylov in this. I think he has better fight IQ. And honestly, he is the younger fighter as far as tread and wear on the tires in this one, right? And in real life, he's only 33 years old. His opponent is 37. One's on the right side of 30, other one's on the wrong side of 30. And there's not much of a height or reach difference for that to really play into my decision making. So I got to go with Roman Kopylov, and not only that, but I think he gets it done inside the distance. Once the odds come out for it, I'm probably going to end up betting him by knockout.
Roman Kopylov by knockout?
Roman Kopylov by knockout, yeah.
Bro, you hear what the man said, man?
Wow.
It's not a bad take.
Say it again, Cross.
Brother, look, with all due respect, Chris Curtis does have, I'll take it one step further. Chris Curtis actually has really good boxing and really good footwork. That's why I think Roman Kopylov is going to catch him with a head kick, because he's going to be stepping outside of distance, outside of range. And Chris Curtis always does this. It's a fucking bad habit that a lot of really good boxers in MMA have, because it works in boxing. You can get away with it. But in MMA, you fucking can't. He'll literally do this and push his hands forward and his head back. If you do that, and I see you do that more than once, even in sparring, you're going to taste my toes, brother. Or my shit is going to kiss you on the fucking chin.
Juice Man, what's up, brother?
What up, Juice Man 562? Happy to see you.
Hey, I'll tell you this right now. If there's a chat or a live, this man right here, Juice Man, is always in it. Shout out Juice Man, bro. Yeah. Always appreciate it. You're the man. Hey, same thing with Lazy Ben. Lazy's always in the chat dropping fire. I hate to go against my Ohio boy Curtis, but Kopylov gonna carry him on the Askren family legacy for him. Yeah, brother. It's I'm not gonna lie to you, dude. Like, Olden, you literally nailed it. I was gonna be like, look, I'm just really talking shit with you boys. I get it. He probably is gonna win by knockout, and I was gonna say if it is, it's gonna be a nasty head kick. It's gonna be a nasty head kick. Kopylov's kickboxing, the way he blends shit together, is nasty. And he throws, like Crossover said, he throws fucking heat. Oh, bro, Roman throws shit to kill you. Like that. This is gonna be this is a good fight. Dana knows what he's doing here, putting this on before the last 3 fights here, man.
Hey, would you have had this here, or would you rather have this as a co-main?
Co-main, 100%. Over Ponzinibbio, 100%. This should have been the co-main, bro.
Should have been the main event. What are we talking about?
I mean, shit. If we're being real,
we're being honest.
You know I'm with you. You know I'm with you, Crossover. We're gonna have a fucking 5-round grappling fight in the main event after all these wars. I'm with you.
Yeah, that's true.
1,000%, bro. But you know,
it's not going to be grappling in the main event. Mackenzie Dern's been working on her boxing for the 5th year in a row. Come on, Sterling.
I bet we see 22 minutes of control time. 22 minutes of control time, folks. Mark my words for it. But
I was obviously being sarcastic.
But folks, we're gonna go back to another absolute boys. Real quick, we got 3 more fights to go. This card's pretty good. Let's be real. For a fight night first card of the year, it's a pretty solid card. As we're going through this, I'm ready to go, dude. But another fight that's gonna get me ready to go is this fight right here, folks. Cesar Almeida versus motherfucker. 3 names.
Razak Al Hassan.
My dog, young Crossover. And you know what, Crossover? Go ahead and take this one, brother. Cesar versus Abdul.
All right, so in this one, we got the credentialed kickboxer in Cesar Almeida versus Abdul Razak Al Hassan, which is pretty much just a brawler. This guy just wants to get in a war and land one of those big hooks and knock somebody out. But it's kind of crazy that Almeida's the kickboxer, but I feel like we haven't seen any kickboxing since he's been in the UFC. It's been all wrestling, all grappling. Let's get in the clinch. Let me lay on you. So I don't really know what we're going to get from him, but I do know that I think Abdul Razak Al Hassan, I think he's like 37, 38 years old.
Yep,
so, you know, he's going to be slowing down a little bit, but I'm going to go with Almeida.
He's 39 now.
Yeah, but I'm going to be honest. Razak Al Hassan can definitely land one punch and get a KO and it's good night, Irene, for sure.
Dude, I was about to say, folks, just because I don't know their names sometimes, don't think I don't know these motherfuckers. I just don't know how to pronounce the names. And like Mike Yang just said here, Crossover gunning for the hosted Mike. Hey, I'll tell you this right now, Mike. You can have this motherfucker. Because sometimes I feel like I will low-key disrupt the flow of the show sometimes. But I appreciate y'all all being here. And I appreciate the boys letting me fucking just free ball. And let's go with Young Jax. Who do you got in this fight?
Man, I'm so out on Cesar Almeida after that Potieria fight. Like, that was absolute garbage. And so I think that at this point, man, like, he needs to show me something. Like, yeah. I want to all the kickboxing that they say that you got. Like, I need to see it. This
Very
ain't
true.
it. But
Very true.
I don't think that this fight's going to be exciting. I do think that Al Hassan can knock him out, and I'm hoping that happens. But he is old, like he's ancient in UFC years. So I don't know, man. We might get a lot of huffing and puffing in this fight,
Bro, I'm not gonna lie to you too, Jax. I could see it going that way, bro. This is literally one of those fights where you tell your friends, like, all right, now sit down. We're about to see a fucking scrap. And you see a 3-round fucking cage wrestling match. And you're just like, dude, what the fuck, man? And Lazy Bed, your boy might take some shots at some boys from across the pond. When I'm here with some Americans, we don't do that shit over here, son. All right? Positive vibes over here. All right? Crossover sometimes takes tiny shots at me. He takes little BB gun shots at me sometimes. But I deflect them. I eat them. I eat them on my fucking chest. They're little pellet bullets. I take that shit. I think
he might be talking about shots of alcohol, brother.
I think he was too. I'm not gonna lie to you. As I saw the picture,
I'm pretty sure that's like a whiskey glass emoji,
hey,
dog. I mean,
you didn't have to do that. You could just let me roll on. I had Lane pulled up. Almeida is the decision king, which is to Jax's point. Like Jax was saying, bro, this fight could really end up being a huffing and puffing fight. Lazy Bed, I'm sorry on that. Dixon Sider, you just wrote a book, so I'm gonna have Olin read this since he's our fucking honorary librarian.
Thanks. It's the glasses, right? Dixon Sider said, "Did we already forget how Razak judo wrestled Buckley? He's gonna do the exact same thing to Almeida and win a greasy, ugly split decision. People gonna be pissed because they all gonna bet Caesar. He's probably not wrong. He's probably not wrong. Yeah. I mean."
Yeah.
I honestly I don't think I'm gonna bet on this fight, and if I do, it's not gonna be on a fighter. It'll probably just be over 2.5.
Yeah, bro. I would not bet on a fighter this fight.
Razak Hassan can definitely gas after the first round too.
Oh, actually, you can get over 1.5 odds right now for this fight on DraftKings Sportsbooks at -180. That's pretty fucking juicy. I'm gonna tap that.
minus 180. Is that what you said?
Lazy Bed's making me want to go get a bottle of whiskey or something. Pour up a shot for the show right now.
Hey, I mean, go ahead, brother. Go ahead. We'll be here because we still got a couple more fights to get to, folks. And Eric, who we got on this, brother?
Yeah, totally agree, man. This is gonna be a huff and puff. I think if Abdul doesn't get him in the first round with his big ass, man, that motherfucker's big. It's gonna go the distance, and I just see. Probably Almeida taking this one by decision.
Sipping on that floppy buns.
Oh my god, that's so funny, Lazy.
Floppy buns. That's who we're betting. Hammer the line.
So, Olin, you gave your pick already too, huh?
I did. Yeah. Are you sure you didn't drink?
Boys, I'll tell y'all right now, it's been a hell of a day. And like I said, before we did the show, just don't forget, folks, if you're wondering, damn, that was a great show by S-Dog. I want to see some more of them. We just dropped an episode 5 minutes before this show with Power Slap heavyweight champ Damian Dabell, folks. So give that a shot. Give that a check out. Give it a like. Give it a comment. All that fucking shit. Let's go ahead and get to this co-main, folks, because we got a fun-ass fight here. I don't think it should be the co-main, but in all respect, it is going to be a fun-ass fight. Santiago Ponzinibbio versus Carlston Harris, folks. Olin, who you got on this, brother? We rocking with the old dogs tonight?
Man. Santiago Ponzinibbio is someone that has definitely let me down in the past when it comes to betting on this guy. And I mean, I just don't feel confident betting him in this fight. He is on the wrong side of age here, but his opponent is no young buck himself, just 1 year age difference. Right? I mean, what? I mean, like they're not. They're 37 and 38, brother. Like they're both old dogs. Yeah, this is a pick'em in every sense of the word. I feel like that's kind of how I am sitting on the fence here. Ponzi scheme is definitely a missed opportunity. If my literal name was Ponzinibbio,
yeah,
my nickname as a fighter would have to be the Ponzi scheme, bro. Like,
what is his nickname?
That's up there with Touchy Feely. His nickname is something like that's not even cool, bro. It's the Argentine Dagger. I mean,
what the fuck?
Like that sounds like that sounds like something you'd pick for a creative fighter on UFC 5, dog. Come on, what are we doing?
The
sniper, the Argentine Dagger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So is that who you're rocking with? Are you going with Pons?
I'm not going with Pons, man.
You a Juice Man right here? Are you a Juice Man on this?
I've been going back and forth, but I think as of right now, this exact moment in time, I'm going to go with Carlston Harris. I think it's probably a grindy, windy fight, and it goes to a semi-boring decision.
Did you say grindy, windy?
Yeah.
Grindy, windy. Yeah, windy and grindy.
This isn't, motherfucker, this isn't the Wiggles. Crossover.
No, motherfucker, it's Dr. Seuss. So sit down and enjoy your fucking green eggs and ham, kid.
I will. Hey, after this show, I will be enjoying something green. Crossover. Give me that pick, my boy.
Man, for this, I'm gonna be honest. This one's a tough one because I mean, this is the men's league right here. You know, we
Let's
got
go.
all we got the Bengay, the biofreeze on before this fight when they're walking into the octagon, and you know, I think they just gonna give each other a little nod, and we're just gonna stand in the middle and just see what happens, and shake it up at the end, but. With all that being said, man, I don't know who the hell's gonna win this fight, but I'm gonna go with Ponzi. But I don't have very much faith in this fight at all. I'm gonna keep it 100.
Bro, I don't blame you. This is literally just a literal toss-up fight. I mean, this is like there's no strategy to this fight. It's gonna be a weird, ugly fight, like you said. These boys are gonna be in the back rubbing lotion on and taking ice baths before and after this fight. No diddy. Jax, who we rocking with, brother?
Oh man, I think that all the Ponzinibbio has left is probably that eyebrow. That's it. That's all he got.
Yeah,
I think he gets knocked out and he retires.
Damn. Oh my God, Jax coming in with fucking heat right now. That's how you're feeling?
Yeah, I think that's what happens, man. I think he's done.
Think about this though. He has a nice job commentating. He's nice. He has a nice cushy job. He's 39 now. I mean, it's just hard.
And that's exactly why. That's exactly why.
Bro. And then if he does win, what are they going to do? Build him back up to fight fucking killers? Like, no. I think you're right, bro. I think this is the end of the road for the young Ponzinibbio. But Eric, who you going with, dog?
So I'm just gonna pick off of one of these. Not Vaseline, but okay, yeah. I'm just gonna go off one of the statistical stats to pick my fight, and that's significant strike accuracy, and Harris has that by 60%. So I'm just gonna go with Harris.
Everyone's gave their picks too, huh? We're all. I'm about to say I don't think none of us rocking with Ponzinibbio, but crossover. But crossover, I feel you. Because I want to go with him just because he's the OG. We've seen him forever. It'd be fun to see him get a fight like this. But shout out to UFC for not putting him up against an absolute fucking killer. I mean, Carlston Harris is a motherfucker, boys. But, I mean, he's not going to do nothing to take off years off Ponzinibbio's life. So
still in the same age bracket.
And they're in the same age bracket. Usually they give Ponzinibbio, what is this? Is this 170? Yeah, usually what the UFC usually does, boys, they give Ponzinibbio a guy like Basil or fucking Sean Brady or some shit like that to be like, hey, man, let's see if you still hang with the big dogs. Here's fucking Gilbert Burns. And you're like, what the fuck? So this is fun, man. I'm glad they're giving them stuff like this. And Lane is 100% with you, crossover.
My dog.
Lane, shout out Lane, always in the chat. Folks, we are here for the main course, the main fucking entree. It's time to get to that point, folks. We have a main event fight that I'm kind of excited for, even though it's women's MMA. I'm not too mad at this. We saw these females fight each other during COVID. It was not bad. It was at 2019, so it's been a little minute since they've seen each other. They both have had different trajectories since they fought since then, and they're both in the top 10. So this is a super fun fight for both these females, and I'm ready to see what you boys think, starting with Jax.
Man, I am kind of excited to see this one just because of where they sit in the division, and a win for whomever could be a nice little start to a resume to actually fight for something more important. But I'm going to go with Mackenzie Dern. And I think I have no real good reason. I think outside of, I think Amanda Ribas does questionable things when she starts to reach towards the top 5 of the division. And she doesn't use everything that she knew when she fights lower ranked people. So I think Dern capitalizes on it, and she wins the fight. I don't think it's going to be a finish, but I think she wins the fight.
Eric,
It's gonna be a draw.
it's gonna be a
No, I'm
draw.
just kidding.
I was like, that's your expertise pick right there.
Nice.
I was like, all right, crossover. What do you got?
No, statistically with the stats, I'm just gonna pick Ribas strictly off of that, man. I'm just looking at stats, and that's probably the only reason picking Ribas. But yeah, it's gonna be a close fight, and it could go either way. I definitely like Jack's point though on that. It would be interesting to see if Dern learned anything off their first fight, and if she comes back, takes what she learned from their first fight, and comes up with the dub.
And before I throw it to you over there, crossover, this is a good point by Justin here. Rivas brought Jacoli to her camp because he's been good at handling Dern when it comes to T-City grappling. That's a great point. I'm not going to lie to you. I hope that's true because if it is, I'm fucking going to go ahead and go with Ribas as well then. But crossover, who we going with, man? And bet the over, folks. Bet the damn over.
So I think this fight being 5 rounds adds a different dynamic to it. Just because if it was a 3-round fight, we all know where Mackenzie Dern wants this fight. She wants it on the ground. And isn't a bad grappler in her own right, but I think over 25 minutes, Mackenzie Dern at some point when they start to slow down and get fatigued, they're gonna get tied up one way or another. They're gonna end up on the mat. And with Mackenzie Dern's grappling, man, all it takes is one mistake, and then she's gonna snatch up an arm or something and get that submission. So I'm going Mackenzie Dern by sub.
Last but not least, Olin. Who we going with, bro?
Man. I like where your head's at, Cross, and I'm gonna go against the tide on this one to an extent. It seems like everybody in the chat, whether they're with Ribas or Dern, is basically saying to bet the over on this one. I actually like the fact that we can get plus 160 for under 4.5. This is a 25-minute fight. The last time they fought, I'm pretty sure it was a 15-minute fight. Yep. I get that went to decision, but like Cross said, every minute past like the 12, 13-minute mark, Ribas is going to start to gas out and get tired, whereas Dern has done long-winded grappling tournaments and things like that, and I truly think that she will be able to take the back at some point, and if not, Dern's probably going to get stuck on her feet and leave a lot of openings for somebody like Amanda Ribas, who we've seen in the past not have the power to finish somebody, but have the wherewithal and the fight IQ to get a ref to stop a fight for her because she's just laying into an opponent. So I think she could get the finish. I also think that Dern's live for a finish. Gun to my head, which one do I think is going to win? Betting aside, I gotta go with the one that already has a win over her. I gotta go with Amanda Ribas. But again, I do think that Dern is live for a submission. So betting wise, I'm not going to pick either one. I'm just going to bet under 4.5.
And I'll be honest with you, man. I rewatched that first fight they had earlier today, just to kind of see what it was like during COVID. It wasn't bad. It was a decent fight. You really see how much Dern's boxing has improved. Y'all remember what Mackenzie's boxing was like, bro?
And she's now had 3 years with Jason Perillo.
Dude, that's huge. Jason Perillo is one of the best boxing coaches in MMA, dude. So, I mean, everyone's thinking about the grappling. When I watched that last fight, bro, there really wasn't a lot of grappling. And when it did go to the ground, Ribas held her fucking own, which makes this fight so interesting that they're both Brazilian monsters on the ground. And on that stand-up, they might just end up being like, fuck it. Let's just stand and bang. Let's just stand up. We've already fought each other once. We've got 15 minutes in between each other, like Eric's doing with his fingers crossed. That's what I'm at least hoping for. But overall, boys, this is a pretty solid card we get to watch this Saturday. And right at this point, I'd watch a whole women's MMA card. I don't give a fuck no more. You know what I'm saying? I'm fiending. I'm fiending for fights. I mean, I went outside the other day and almost started a fight between two homeless dudes. Like, I am ready to see action. I need violence bad. I mean, like, a crackhead needs fucking crack. But, boys, crossover. Don't shake your head like that, all right? I feel like you're disappointed.
Does a crackhead really need crack? I think they don't need crack.
They desire it very strongly, is what he's saying.
I don't think they actually need crack, brother.
Thank you, Jack. I'm
fiend. They fiend for crack. They fiend for crack.
Boxing on Wednesday morning at 4 a.m. Mike, I don't know who the fuck's boxing Wednesday morning at 4 a.m., but it's got to be Tyson Fury versus fucking John Jones for me to stay up for that, brother. That is I'm not doing that. Crack is whack, Dixon Cider. It is, brother. It is. And crackheads, like Juice Man said, they need crack. Crossover. It's literally part of their description. They yearn for the crack. They yearn for it, like Lazy Bed just said. They desire. That's what I'm saying. I mean, shout out Dave Chappelle. Shout out Dave Chappelle, folks.
Y'all got it in there. UFC
Joe
fights coming
Rogan.
up.
I don't know if you know this about me.
Yeah.
Dana White, you got any more of them fights? Dana White, you got any more
Tyrone
of
the
them
Crackhead.
fights?
That's like by far one of the funniest like lines of skits from Dave Chappelle.
Bro, I'm walking up to Dana like, if you could put a full women's 145 weight division together right now, I'll fucking watch every card. I'll judge.
I have to
them
tag
fuckers.
Invicta on a Twitter post right now. I'll be like, my guy Sterling is yearning for a card. He will watch a whole Invicta card right now. If you guys put it on.
I'm probably gonna watch WWE tonight just to see some type of violence, just to see a smidge.
I'm gonna watch WWE because Sterling's gonna be
fake
tweeting. I watched WWE tonight to feel alive again, to feel something.
That's pretty. Hey, I'm not gonna you. I'm probably gonna do that. That's a pretty good tweet. I'm not gonna lie to you. Let's make a parlay. Yeah, folks. We're about to wrap it up. This show's been going on for 2 hours. We just broke down that whole card. I was about to ask the boys what do they think about the card before we get out of here. But boys, Eric, I'm pretty sure you got some for Valdez's validation. Is there any parlay or anything anyone's interested in dropping before we get out of here, man?
Yeah, my parlay is just a three pick parlay. It's Medic, Kopilov, and Ribas.
Hang on. Restart that. I didn't hear the first one.
Medic? No? Not saying that right? Yeah, okay. Medic. At minus 200, Kopilov at minus 270, and Ribas at minus 200. Once again, don't quote me on those odds. MMA Anomaly already told me those aren't the correct odds if they're coming off of ESPN. So, but those are my picks for a parlay, and just throw it as MMA Anomaly, like say a unit on it. Why not have a little fun? Nothing to break the bank. Just maybe a little $5-10. Have some fun with it and enjoy the fights.
Any other ones, boys, before we get on out of here?
I mean, easy money parlay. Probably just going to throw a little bit on a two-legger, Amanda Ribas at minus 205 and Magomed Gadzhishulov at minus 225. You pair those together, turns it into some little juicy plus odds at plus 114. If you put 1 unit on that, you get 2.14 back. So I'm just going to probably put 1 unit on that myself.
Crossover? Jax, anything?
I ain't got no parlays for this thing, man.
Hey, dog. I'm just asking for the chat, dog. Dixon Cider wants a 5-leg parlay. I'm sorry, brother. We ain't got none of that.
Well, no, Dixon, I don't know if you saw it. He wanted each of us to choose one fighter from the card that we're high on, and then make a 5-leg parlay out of that.
Okay. All right. That's a good
kind of
way
like
to end
they
the
do
show,
on the
Dixon.
MMA
We'll end the
hour.
show with that. Dixon,
Yeah, parlay boys.
Dixon Cider, we'll end the show with that right now. I'll start it off.
Oh.
Go ahead, Eric. Go ahead. No,
Well, I
you
was gonna
start
say
off.
real quick, Medic. Like if I got one that I'm gonna bet on for sure, it's that one.
Mm-hmm. Jax?
I'm gonna say Tulio.
That's a good one. That's a good one. These are 2 right now. Crossover. Third one.
Diago Moises.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good. Hey, we're about to make y'all motherfuckers some money. Remember this, Olin.
Gonna piss some people off. Roman Kopilov.
Hey,
That's
that's fair.
a sketchy. That's a sketchy one, but I don't blame you on that. I'm gonna go with Charleston Harris. I think you put those 5 down, folks. You're gonna walk out of here with some cheddar, and it gives you a little something to look forward to the main event. You know what I'm saying? I was gonna go Eeyore, but I'm not betting my heart no more. Charleston Harris.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
No, yeah, I'm not gonna do that. I don't want y'all to lose money like that. I'm gonna go that, folks. And then what the other 4 boys said, that's a banger parlay to win that fucking cheddar. Shout out Dixon Cider. And honestly, dude, shout out the fucking boys, man. Shout out the fucking boys for hopping on today. I big appreciate everyone in here. Jax, I'm glad you came out of the fucking tomb to have you in the show today, brother. It's been good to see you. MMA Anomaly, we appreciate your soundboard, man. I'm just playing. Nah, good to have you in, brother, as always. Nah, dude, good to have you in as always. You're the man, brother. I love that fucking shirt, by the way. Young Eric with the new background today. Got the new mic, got the new backdrop. Soon gonna have the new YouTube channel. I mean, do you want to drop some news, Eric, or are we waiting on that, or are we dropping news right now?
Yeah, we need to get that done. I mean, I also need y'all to change my name in the little thing below. Remember, I was telling you about that. Not my Instagram name, but the YouTube. Eric Valadezi 127. So let's get that done. Get that channel up and going. Get that going pretty soon, no doubt.
We're gonna get that running. And the man to the far right of me, the swole, python, shaded, crossover.
Yo,
I always appreciate
another great stream down, man. Really appreciate it. Always good to come on here and chop it up with you fellas, man. Look forward to doing it again. Really looking forward to enjoying these fights this weekend. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Go subscribe to everybody. Follow us all on social media platforms. And until next time, people.
Hey, that man wrapped it up the best he could, folks. I appreciate every single one of y'all in here. I'm about to hit this outro. And never forget, folks, eat your vegetables. Let's get out of here, boys. Y'all have a great fucking night. UFC's back, bitches!